The AFL World right now might as well be a part of a special edition Law & Order episode, from two premiership stars getting involved with police and set to go to court, and a former cult figure caught taking PEDs. It's been a wild past couple weeks. Controversy has also taken place in the Perth League in Western Australia, and with Port Adelaide, who finally ousted their most notorious board member after more trouble surfaced in 2025. We start with a very serious incident Melbourne's Stephen May and Richmond's Dion Prestia have been charged by police with. If you remember back in December last year, the pair allegedly got caught up in an altercation between two groups on Point Nepean Road outside the Continental Hotel. At the time, there was no hint that the two were involved in any way, but investigations done by the Mornington Crime Investigation Unit pinned charges against May and Prestia. Two individuals involved in the incident attended hospital, and one came out with serious injuries, including a broken left eye socket, detached retina, and fractured nose. The Herald Sun revealed this was tradie Will Salter, who's been unable to recommence work since the events took place. But both players came out and emphatically denied any wrongdoing. Prestia even denied physically being at the alleged breakout. Prestia's statement said, "I have today been charged with the offence of recklessly causing serious injury as a result of an altercation that apparently took place on Boxing Day 2024 at Sorrento. I was not involved in the fight. I was not even physically present when it apparently took place. I deny that I am guilty of these offences and will strenuously defend these charges. As I have now been charged, it would be inappropriate for me to say anything further." May, who was charged with one count of affray, was backed by the Melbourne Football Club. In their club statement they said, "Stephen has advised the club that he was not involved in the alleged incident and will strongly defend the charge in court. The club will continue to support Stephen throughout this process. As the matter is now before the courts, the club will not be making any further comment." The Herald Sun further revealed the brawl may have been over one member of the players group making an approach to a woman in the hotel, which then escalated with security stepping in and eventually leading to the two groups interacting outside. The 27th of November is the court date, so we wait and see what happens next. Soon after, another player caught the front pages of the Herald Sun. It was former Brisbane Lions midfielder and cult hero Reece Matheson, who did have the nickname Beast Mode. The 28-year-old played 72 games for the Lions before being delisted at the end of 2023. Post-AFL, he joined Wilston Grange in the Queensland Football League, but also took up another hobby, bodybuilding. Matheson, as seen in these photos, has clearly put on a whole lot of size since his playing days and started lifting big weights. But the catch was, his new favourite activity came at a cost in terms of his football. Jay Clark reported, former Brisbane Lions midfielder Reece Matheson has been suspended for 3 years after testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. The Herald Sun has confirmed Matheson, who played 72 AFL games, submitted a positive test last year playing for Wilston Grange in the Quaffle. It was the reason Matheson was not playing football at any level in 2025. Now, the exact substance he was caught using was anabolic steroid oxymethylone. On an episode of his podcast Rip Through It alongside Mitch Robinson, Matheson said, "I dived into a lot of gym supplements, a lot of it, and some you just buy off the shelves and whatever, and some boys had their own. I was willing to put anything in my body to transform. I like the science behind transforming your body, and I really have a passion for it." Matheson also described the serious nature of the testing, which he believes started from uploading a photo of his post-AFL career body transformation. He told a story of drug testers coming to his parents' house at 5 a.m. and the realization of the trouble he could get in if he didn't properly cooperate with ASADA. And what they, in ASADA, wanted back was my phone. It was potentially facing that, in jail time, if I didn't hand my phone over. You go to court, and if you don't give up your phone, it's like you're hiding something, and if you don't agree, it's a potential fine. It can get up to $60,000 and then potential jail time. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm not a criminal. All I do is have a new passion in bodybuilding and supplements and all this stuff, and I'm thinking like, these people are acting like I'm a full-blown criminal. Matheson still has 2 years to go until his ban is over, but it looks like bodybuilding is his next professional pursuit. A couple clubs have also faced the heat in the past few weeks. You may have never heard of the Osborne Park Football Club, but some unsettling news saw them cop one of the most serious punishments handed out in any football league. Again, it had to do with dress-ups. The ABC reads, "A suburban Perth football club has been suspended from its league for 2 years after a severe breach of integrity standards, following an end-of-season costume stunt that left City of Stirling workers distressed. It was all part of the club's Silly Sunday, and the big issue was to do with one of the players' costumes which represented Stephen Hawking. The setup of the costume also included extremely disturbing photographed images that even led to a police investigation. The WA police found no criminality in the end, but the club copped a huge spray from the Perth Football League. The league said the incident had exposed deep governance and leadership failures at the club, which refused to disclose the identity of the player who created the costume. It was noted club officials were at the event and failed to act. Perth Football League boss Andrew Dorr ended a radio interview by saying, "The City of Stirling had continued issues with leaders at that club. This potentially was the straw that broke the camel's back. At the end of the day, a club has to uphold the standards of the community, and unfortunately, they haven't done so in this instance. It's one of the most serious bans the club has ever been dealt." Then there was the removal of Port Adelaide Premiership captain Warren Tredrea from the club's board. To use his own words, his position in the end was untenable. The latest incident which led to his removal was to do with a guest, AJ Roberts, on his podcast The Ballsy Show. In a video posted on Tredrea's Instagram account, one of his podcast guests, in AJ Roberts, makes statements about Israel, which he says is a fake state, that was behind the creation of terror group ISIS. In 2022, Tredrea was also dismissed from Channel 9 as a sports presenter for failing to take the COVID-19 vaccine, and he then launched a lawsuit claiming unfair dismissal. In March 2024, the federal court threw out the case. Tredrea then launched another appeal, but he lost again and was then ordered to reimburse the network for its legal fees relating to the latest appeal. The point is, his personal life was becoming a distraction for the power, and as a club's director, that is never a good thing. A Port Adelaide statement said, "After exhausting all reasonable avenues for resolution, the board determined that Mr. Tredrea's continuation as a director was not in the best interests of the club." It's a sad end between the club and Tredrea, who was the club's only premiership captain in the AFL.